So, I have a confession. I'm the creator of the Intend app, which is all about getting outside of staleness and not having backlogs. And yeah, I still have backlogs though. Backlogs can show up even if you try to not have backlogs. They're very sneaky. To-do lists sneak into all sorts of places. That mark unread feature in your chat app, to-do list. Or in your email. Open browser tabs, to-do list. Giant pile of stuff on your table, to-do list. We organize our world, including our digital world, in ways that we use to externalize our intentions. So in this case, all of these tabs represent some loose intention to do something with them. Now, some of them are accidental, like I just left something open when I actually had finished dealing with it, in which case the only intention to deal with is to close it. But in a lot of cases, I opened a bunch of things in a new tab and there's an intention to read it, or I even opened it in a new tab knowing that I wanted to reply to it with a particular quote tweet, or knowing that I wanted to use it as a jumping off point for some other part of my writing or something. There was some impression of a thing I was going to do. But now, thanks to the magic of digital space, I've got 100 of these. And when I was making each of these little intentions, setting all of these little to-dos that I'm secretly pretending are not to-dos, they're just open tabs, I didn't actually consider them in light of literally everything else. Unfortunately, part of the thing here, this is my special Twitter-only browser profile so that I can close these out. These have been piling up for months. Part of the issue is that it's a lot more juicy to go look for new stuff on Twitter rather than going and trying to reply to all of these old things that I thought I might want to reply to when I first saw them last week. So I end up doing that, and then I end up building up even more. This is a little bit, I think, like the Netflix phenomenon. There's some sort of discounting hyperbolic thing going on here. A little bit like when Netflix back used to be a mail order movie service, people would order documentaries that they thought it would be really nice if they watched. Whereas now that it's streaming, people want to watch stuff that they feel like watching right now, rather than stuff that's sort of on consideration, big picture they want to watch. So there's a kind of collapsed awareness that happens when I'm looking at this thing and thinking, yeah, I want to reply to this. And it's like within the frame of that situation, it's like, yes, I want to reply to this. And then opening it in a new tab makes it more likely that I will reply to it. But it kind of gets in the, I just keep, there's just more, what do I do? So what I'm doing right now, in fact, is I am going to, I want to keep all these because maybe at some point in the future, I'll be trying to find one of them and I'll be trying to look for it, right? There's a kind of hoarder energy. Turns out you can indulge the hoarder energy actually. And the way that I do that is I hit bookmark all tabs, boop, and then I name this Stale Tabs 2023-06-20. And then I hit save, and now I can close this giant window of things and this, and I am back to utter freshness. So that is a simple example of me letting go of a big old stale backlog, not destroying it, information theoretically, but releasing the idea that I am going to ever get to any of those. I still have them. If I'm honest, part of me is still kind of vaguely thinking I'm going to look at them. But if I'm honest, I know I have 4 other stale tabs folders. I've not looked in any of them. And so at this point, my desk is clean. And that's really nice. Yeah, that feels really good. So you might consider, where is a place that staleness has been building up for you? And can you just let go of it? It can be scary. It can be really scary. And what if somewhere buried in there is a really important thing that I've got to reply to in order to get an important opportunity? Maybe. Legit maybe. And one thing you can do, and which I've sometimes done, is flip through them really quickly to make sure that there's nothing there that's like a real important opportunity. Part of the issue here is we don't disambiguate between different kinds of intentions. We have sort of intentions that are more like obligations or external expectations, and we have intentions that are more like just like an idea or an opportunity or a thing that would be nice. And we end up piling them all into the same system, and then that system becomes untrustworthy for handling the things that are really expected of us because it's also handling giant piles of things that we just kind of vaguely thought were a cool idea. Whew. Okay. Yeah, so that's an invitation. Consider a system that has been building up some staleness for you and see if you can take it and put it somewhere else. Another way you can do this, label everything in your email inbox with giant pile of things I haven't looked at that were in my inbox, or probably something shorter than that, and then just archive all of them. And then at least you can be on top of the new stuff that's coming in now. And, if you want to, you can create some sort of system for going through that backlog, but you can separate out your backlog process from your being responsive in the present moment process, which is really powerful. And also, if you want a system that is just focused on keeping your present day fresh, even if you've got giant piles of staleness piling up somewhere else, I made an app for that. It's called Intend. I will put a link to it down there. It's pretty cool.